With a December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast, what a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State. All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Yellow. Body.
Check. Show it.
Hey, Ridley.
Slip.
Check.
Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down now. It's Jackson. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Mahomes now to throw. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And they string that play out nicely. He stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. And it's third down. Minshew throwing on third down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is taken in at the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and that makes the score 7-0. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Tight dog. Hey, 57 colors. 43. Yellow.
On second down, it's Jackson, and he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Mahomes now on first down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Now Mahomes. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Justin Jackson, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes. So
all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is now a hit and a loose football.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Check girls, check girls.
Fournette running out of the gun. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's going to fight, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Again, Minshew looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion to field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 16, Mahomes flushed out right. That is incomplete. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch this. Hey, 43, 15.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. These two teams all tied after 1. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense. 1st down and 10.
First and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the
Go now.
34-yard line.
15-1. General West. Get it.
Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags 1st down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Chase Reed.
I got you, son.
Ready?
Minshew, 1st and 10. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
The Chiefs 20-yard line.
It'll be Minshew again. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the 1st half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
What we got?
15.
Mahomes going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Yellow, yellow. Yellow.
He's crashing.
15.
Wide. Get wide. You got tape.
They'll run it with Jackson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's get it.
Now a give, right side. Jackson up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll go play action here with Minshew. Flush to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. 1:50 left to go in the second quarter.
Don't throw this way.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
I got him, man. I got him. He's mine.
On second down, this is Jackson. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Check.
Yellow. Undercrook.
On 3rd down, this is Jackson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. And Mike Tomlin going to roll up the sleeves here and say, let's go for it on 4th. Mahomes throwing on 4th. Flushed out right. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? Because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
There goes a deep ball. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up 2nd down and 15 yards to go.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Let him know. 25. Check. Watch the shit. Go team spin. Check. Hot route. Hot.
Yellow.
Box track. Right there. 54 miles.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. They're going deep for Hill. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off around the 37. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. He spins free. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
This quarterback now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10.
Rush in. Hey, let's go.
They'll toss it to Fournette. And an alley to run. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 35.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Minshew sets to throw. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give Fournette another crack. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Watch the slack.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Here we go. Check nickel. Check. Jim.
43, 15.
Now a give, right side. Jackson. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Dancing to his left. He can run. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. And he's got room. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Wildville. Yellow. Check 24. Watch 24.
They run with Jackson out of the gun. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. Mahomes now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a 1st and 10 here.
Check. Hey, 57. Mike 5-4.
They run on first down with Jackson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Yellow. Right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete here. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way that's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Watch the safety creep. 43.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line.
Set, ready, 8, read.
Rip left. Take 4.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play in that situation.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 33. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And out of bounds right around the 20. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the ground, this is Jackson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 7. First down, Kansas City.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On the run, this is Jackson. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a give right side. Jackson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking. Right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now here's Mahomes. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try the ground game with Jackson, and he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Justin Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as his guys are back within a single score. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it? They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Fournette. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter. And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play. Now this throw caught left side, and they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars.
91.
53. Let's go, defense. Out of time. It's out of time.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 47-yard line.
Ready. 50, plant.
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
On 2nd and 12, Minshew nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darren Lee make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean.
And he's going to go down again. Darren Lee in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Mahomes to throw. He dumps this one off to Jackson, the running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Mahomes now on 1st down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Josh Allen in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. To throw is Mahomes. Flush to his right. He's going to let it fly. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
The ball carrier, Darren Lee on the tackle. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the Chiefs' 34-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I got you, boy. Check. Crunch. Kill.
Topper. Fight.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's got his man on the out route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Down. 60-yard.
Don't get nervous.
Now.
Fournette. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Nice hit, boy.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the Chiefs' 18-yard line.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Well, without question, when you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Jags, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL.